Hi, so this is the video for January 26, Monday, January 26, 2015. Euro US dollar. I had bad couple of days. I mean, my week last day I had two losing days, which were much bigger than my typical winning days. So I wiped out all of the profit I had made so far this year. But it also basically prompted me to make some changes to my trading, which I think will be beneficial in the long run. I mean, I was before today. I think at first I wasn't using stops at all. I mean, mental stops, but then I finally started having stops like 50 pips out. But I guess last week I didn't even auto those stops. So basically, I'm just like I have a maximum stop of 30 pips. If no, it's 30 pips on my first position and 40 on my second, I believe. Yeah, I can check it out here. Yeah. 30 and 50, but this I'm not going to let that happen anyways. That's just too. But yeah, basically 30 pips. I'm like the way I trade, like trading extremes, always like selling tops and buying bottoms. If a trade goes 30 pips more against me, that means there's obviously a breakout that's successful and there's no point fighting it. I'd rather just be out and then trade in the right direction, right? So that's one of the changes I decided to do. And the second change is to trade two positions. I mean, well, I enter the same position as usual, but I take my scalp. Basically, I scalp up to 10 pips. I used to scalp the whole thing for up to 10 pips. Now I'm going to scalp the first three quarters, so still the majority of, no, the 2/3, sorry. My thing is to I exit 20,000. Yeah, okay. So 2/3 at up to 10 pips, and I try to let the remainder of my position, the 25% that I have left after that, I'm trying to let it run for more than 10 pips. So obviously here it didn't work. I entered. I mean, basically what happened here? There was a big trend up from overnight. There was a huge gap down yesterday, Sunday night, then a huge trend up. But here it was forming a range. The reason I got in around here, and this didn't look like such a bad long, but I kind of decided to trade this market to the short side only. Unless there's really a screaming buy, because it's just the long-term trend on this euro dollar is just, I mean, so down. The path of least resistance is so much to the downside. Then I figured I'd rather just be short, wait for the shorts, and maybe skip the longs, unless maybe at some point, if I find one that's really like so appealing that I can't let it go. But I'm trying. Basically, my goal is to try to only trade this market short. So anyway, so here's a range. We have a break of that previous high here. I'm shorting at 61. I think I took 7 pips on my first contract. Still a little bit nervous. There was no reason to not wait for 10, but still, I guess it kind of was. I mean, this was a big leg up. We still, overall, the short-term trend, but still, from last night is up. So I'm like, okay, let's take 7 pips. It's not 10, but it's still decent. In the meantime, I have my other position that I can let run, which did not happen. I was hoping for at least a touch of the EMA here. I think I had my profit around here, at 44. Didn't happen. It tried to bounce. I get out. I'm like, okay, let me just get out of this thing, and I already have a profit from this, and this is more or less a break even, like 20 pips, I think, but yeah, $20. So I'm like, I'll short later. The reason I didn't short right here is because I was waiting for more upside. I was actually waiting. I was hoping this breakout would succeed and reach a measured move, which I was looking at around here, basically measured move consisting of the height of this trading range. So that didn't happen, but came back down, bounces off the EMA again. That would have been a decent long, but I'm kind of like not so looking forward to trading to the long side for now. So I let this one go, and I'm like, okay, if it reaches up there again, I might short again. And it did reach. It did break above that top here, though on many bars. So in retrospect, that's the kind of entries I've been telling myself I need to avoid, because Sometimes when there's like several green bars in a row, or red, whichever color, but when there's like 7 bars in one direction in a row, it tends to keep going for a while. Though there was support. I mean, there was support over. I mean, there was resistance. Like there was this channel. It was at the top of the channel, but still, ideally, I should have entered maybe. Like this would have been a good entry. After it slows down, shows some selling, breaks above, that would have been a good short. And this wasn't a bad short. It's just like it was a little bit riskier for short. Anyways, I only take 5 pips here because of what I just said. This bull leg was really making me nervous. I guess I could have added here, but I didn't. At that point, I was like, I'm going to keep my position, which I have left, which is 25%, a quarter of my position I have left. But I'm not going to add until it gets up there. I'm going to add if it gets up there, not quite before. So then it sells off. I sell half of my quarter that I have left. I sell at the EMA or just above, and the other half a little bit further. Then again, it had broken below the EMA, but on the 15-minute chart, it really looks like a nice bull trend, and it's right at the EMA. The EMA is right underneath here on the 15 minutes. So again, that would have been even a good long, but I'm not trading long right now. But I definitely didn't want to hold on to this one much longer. Comes back up to the top of the channel. I don't enter this because it made it to 90, and I had my order here at 93, I think, because I was waiting for just a little bit more because of that line that I had here from the measured move. It didn't happen at first. It sold off, and then it tried again, and here I entered. Here I entered at 90. It was 92 actually at that point. Yeah, I entered at 92. Took 3/4 off. This was a half position. This last trade was a half position because it's later in the day, and it's just showing too much buying pressure. I'm like, I'd rather. I didn't want to wait much. I didn't want to wait more because I was like, okay, it's the end of the day. I would like to get one more trade, but in the meantime, I'm a little nervous because of the buying pressure. So I'm like, let me enter with half a position and add if I need to. Okay, and pretty much enter. Well, I think it went a few ticks to 90. It went 3 ticks against me. Then it sold off. I got my that was only 9 ticks. I don't know why I moved it up. Sometimes I can't help, And this was 14 pips. This was the support plus getting even later in the day, and he was just sitting there. I just got tired of it. I was like, you know what, let me just take that and move on with my day. So not a bad day. I mean, again, I'm not looking at crazy amounts of dollars, but I'm really looking for consistency. Which besides for last week, where I had 2 really bad days, and I kind of know what happened, and I think I have a solution to make that not happening anymore. I'm fairly satisfied with my consistency. I mean, I've pretty much had, I think over the last 40 days, 35 days of trading, I've had 3 losing days. So the problem is that they are big. I mean, not even day, just last week was big, but there was a particular reason. I mean, I just fought a huge trend, fought news, and I didn't honor my stops, and that's not gonna happen anymore. So I'm pretty satisfied still globally with my trading. Okay, so that was it for today. So yes, it's Monday, January 26th. I'm back at it tomorrow, and hopefully we have a better week this week, and we make up for the losses of last week.